Bob has been working in the industry for 50 plus years. Everywhere he goes, he makes a difference. And I think the reason why he's so successful at what he does is that he doesn't go in and talk to them about anything else but you. Each one of you, he speaks to you. And the whole program is directed at you. What you want, what you need, what your hopes and aspirations are. And everywhere he goes, he gets results. He is absolutely amazing. And to be in this room for 6 days, 4 days in which he and Sandy will both be teaching, is a real treat.
It all starts right here. Matrix is a resourceful environment where people from around the world collaborate, mastermind, and explore opportunities while developing financial independence by establishing multiple sources of income. By the end of the Matrix, it is so much fun because everybody has awakened to a new possibility. Most people tiptoe through life, hoping to make it safely to death. Seriously, can you think of people that do that? It's like, okay, I'm not gonna take any risk and I'm just gonna follow this path and then I can make it to death. For most people, when their heart stops beating, it'll be a mere formality. Are we really living? There's no plan here that you have to naturally progress from. You can create anything in your imagination that you want for your life, and you can have it. If you want it, if you love it, if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to change your thinking, and at times go against the flow, go against the opposition, and stick with it, you can have it. Don't think about how old you are or how young you are or what languages you speak, what color your skin is, what sex you are. Don't think of any of that. Don't think about your successes or your failures. What do you want for your life?
It's almost a rags to riches story for me. 3 years ago, I was watching The Secret. I must have watched it 200 times. And during that process of watching The Secret and listening to Bob's words and then doing more research on the internet about Bob, things started to change. At the time, 3 years ago to the month, I was driving around in a $500 car, cracked windscreen, bald tyres, barely making ends meet, at the foot of what I saw as a huge business mountain. 3 years on, the company now turns over in excess of £1 million. My salary is in the £250,000 a year bracket. I've got 500 people working for me, and it's all to do with the change in attitude and the belief systems and the paradigms that were taught by Bob. So that's what's brought me closer to Bob for the first live meeting that I've had with him.
The reason why I was really attracted to working with Bob and the Proctor Gallagher Institute was the spiritual component to it, the work with the soul and source, and he really gives you the science behind it to realise why is that occurring. It's occurring because you're thinking something, it's going into your consciousness, going into your subconsciousness, and that's changing the vibration in your body. And I really understand that now. I understand why I wasn't getting the results that I wanted in life.
I knew in the mid-1980s if I wanted to be an entrepreneur, coming from a criminal detective, which I was at that time, I needed to make some massive changes in myself. When you get in the presence of Bob, when you really get into the detail, it creates a great shift in you. And I've been blessed with living around the world, traveling around the world. And that's not by coincidence. It's because I put the work in, I put the study in, and I realised I had to make a shift, and that was an inside job. Wealth is an inside job. That was my realisation. You know, I've been around Bob now for many years, studying his material, and you just know that each time you go to an event, you go through this material, you grow. It makes a shift in you. So I knew it was time to come back again because I needed to go to another level.
I never think of myself as a speaker. I have never thought of myself as a speaker. People pay me to give a speech, but I don't see myself that way. I see myself more, I think, as a teacher, just sharing this information. I have people come up and say, "You have no idea how I've benefited from this." And I said, "Oh, I think I probably do." My life has changed so dramatically, and I always figured if I could change, anybody could change. And I really believe we're all exactly the same. We just look different, sound different, come from different backgrounds. But there is only one power in the whole universe. We're an expression of that power. This whole universe operates in an orderly way. It operates by law. And if you gain an understanding of the law, you can have anything you want. The common denominator of success is in forming the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. Do you know, the good side of your life, the things that are happening that are good, they're happening because of the good habits you've got. You know, the things you don't like in your life, the things that you would like to get rid of, they're happening because of the bad habits you got. So what we want to do is change our habits. Now we're going to find that that's what we're doing here. We work on paradigms. Discipline is the ability to give yourself a command and then follow it. If you cannot do that, odds are pretty good you're stuck where you are. And not just for right now, probably for the rest of your life. You got to be one tough character if you're really going to win in a big way. You got to say, this is the way it's going to be, and then you're going to make it that way. We've got to stop and think. Why so many people stuck? Why is it that 1%, 2%, 3% of the population are earning all the money? I earn millions of dollars. Do you think I'm that much smarter than I was when I was earning $4,000? No. Do you know, you just become aware that if you want millions, you can have millions. I learned a great lesson from a mentor of mine. He said, you willingly give and you graciously receive. That is a phenomenal lesson.
The law of attraction, we learned it brings things to you, but by action, you're actually able to take possession of them. And that's very interesting for me because a lot of times we don't take action. So this action of coming here, booking everything off and saying I'm going to take my time and I'm going to come out, you know, to Toronto, taking that action, just like I said, it collapsed time for me and put me in the future.
So if you train yourself in the practice of deliberately picturing your desire and carefully examine the picture, what's going to happen? Your thoughts and desires proceed in a more orderly procession than ever before. What does that mean? Thoughts and desires. You're feeling good. This is where you get the joy out of it. This is where the ease comes in. This is where it doesn't have to feel like a struggle. Now, having reached a state of ordered mentality, you're no longer in a state of constant mental hurry. Hurry is fear and consequently destructive. When your understanding grasps the power to visualize your heart's desire and hold it with your will, it attracts you all things requisite to the fulfillment of that picture by the harmonious vibrations of the law of attraction. It's not what someone else thinks is possible for you. It's not what you know you can do. It's not what someone else wants for you. And so your understanding, when it grasps the power to visualize this, your heart's desire, that's when it all starts to get easy. That's when it all starts to flow.
The minute that you see Bob and Sandy in front of you and the way they interact with you, you will know that you're in the right place. So make a decision and just come and you won't regret it. And as Bob says, you know, it's going to cost you time and money. Well, you're going to lose those anyways.
Invest in yourself, because if you don't invest in you, nobody else will. All anybody needs is already in them, and I had a phenomenal opportunity to understand what it really means. And I can now tell anybody that all I need, I already have.
Started watching some of his videos on YouTube, and that really got me, I believe, attracted to being here today. It was very hard making the decision to come, but once you make a decision, everything aligns to be able to make it happen, and that's what happened. Once I made the decision to come, finances were not an issue anymore.
I watch the way our company's evolving, and it's like a work of art, really. the people we have attracted and the things that happen, if you didn't understand it, you'd think it was magic. Do you know, it's a funny thing about magic. The trick is so obvious, you wonder why the people can't see it. It is so obvious when you know it. But if you don't know it, it blows your mind. But when you know it, it's not magic. But when you understand life, it's magic. It's real magic.